Feeling responsible for her mother's death, Hilda has had a nervous breakdown in London, but Cannon insists on visiting her.
You play splendid. Oh, no. No talent at all.
Oh, nonsense.
It's no use. I shall have to go back up. He'll have to send for me if he must see me.
Oh, hello there, Miss Lessways. Up and about again today, eh? Well, it must mean you're on the mend. I mean, it mustn't it? And I can't tell you how glad we are, how very glad my wife and I are to see you getting on so well.
Thank you, Mr. Butler.
Oh, very, very glad indeed. Not feeling quite tip-top yet, I suppose, but time will take care of that, believe me. Yeah, you know, these breakdowns can be very serious things, very sapping, very weakening things. And the doctors, they don't know half as much about them as they'd have you believe. Oh, we know, they say, we know, but half the time, what are they? Lost in a fog. You need to be careful, young lady, believe me. There are far too few of you handsome young things about to have one who's feeling not quite at her best. Oh, Miss Lessways, I don't know whether you know anything about this. There's no reason why you should, of course, but to cut a long story short, the fact of the matter is, we are having a little difficulty, and I really can't understand why. I mean, it's hardly as if we are new to all this. I mean, we stayed in boarding houses before. Well, boarding houses and hotels. Well, hotels mainly, but we have stayed in both. We like staying in them. You may say that they are our way of life. But never before have we come across anything quite like this.
Mr. Boutwood, I don't think...
Of course you don't. There's no reason why you should. No reason at all. But what I would ask you to understand, Miss Lessways, is that we are both very fond of Miss Gailey. She's a dear, sweet woman, and we're very fond of her. We're very fond indeed, and the last thing we wanted was an altercation. But then, on the other hand, we must point out our rights. I mean, to look at it one way, we pay for our rights. Now, Miss Gailey, as we both know, is fresh to this business, and I want her to succeed. Oh, believe me, I want her to succeed. But she's not going to succeed if she treats her guests like naughty children, is she? And of course, I mean, she didn't mean to give us notice to leave. That was all just done in the heat of the moment. But as my dear wife says, if Miss Gailey cannot bring herself to apologize, we shall simply have to find somewhere else. And you must admit, Miss Lessways, that would be a shame. No, my true and honest feeling about Miss Gailey is that when she's had a little more experience, and if she will listen to the advice her guests have to give... Dear, one has to be so very careful, doesn't one? She really can be very touchy.
Excuse me, Mr. Boutwood. There's something that I must do.
Oh.
They're beautiful flowers.
I hope they are. You've been talking to him, haven't you?
No. I was sitting there and he came and talked to me.
I've given them their notice. They've got to go. They're idle and they're careless. And they're insulting as well. It's my decision if they stay here or not.
Of course it is.
I'll not put up with it. I won't. I'll not have those Butwoods here. That's it.
I think I shall go back up to my room.
Aren't you going to stay down for lunch?
I don't really feel like it.
You're not ill again, are you? I do hope not.
I don't feel like talking, that's all.
Well, of course. You must do what you feel like doing. I told you, didn't I? That's what you must do. It's just that George did say he wanted to see you specially. I don't know what he'll say about the Butwoods. I don't. He did tell me to arrange things as I wanted, of course, but you know what George is, and still, you must do what you feel like doing.
Excuse me, ma'am. Mr. Cannon's here. He's in the hall.
Thank you, Hetty.
You know, they have no trust at all. You're so right, of
stay down.
Good. Perhaps you better not keep him waiting.
No?
I called up to the cabbie. How far can you take me for a bob? You mean 9pence, sir, he says. I hope as how you're going to tip. Eh? Well, they're all as bad as each other, you know. So I gave up taking cabs from them. Don't you agree, Mrs. Barwood?
Oh, yes, I do. I absolutely do.
He's got a wonderful way of putting things, hasn't he?
No, I was simply agreeing with what you said. London is too big.
Except for the owner of a boarding house, eh?
Well, I must confess, big or not, I like it. Tell me, what do you think of London these days, Miss Harris?
Oh, dear, I'm not really the one to ask.
Oh, I'm sure you are.
I so seldom go out of Hornsey myself.
Well, in that case, Hornsey is London for me. Eh?
What about the Five Towns, Mr. Cannon? Haven't you any loyalty to them?
The Five Towns, Mr. Bartwood, are the provinces. You don't go to the provinces, you come away from them.
True.
I think we've all finished. I'll ring for Hetty to clear.
Not quite. I give myself indigestion like this.
Well, take your time, take your time. There's no hurry. Is there, Sarah? Everything's very easy here.
You were all talking so much, I thought you'd finished. That's all.
I'm sorry, Sarah. That's a reproof to me. Sarah knows that I always talk too much.
And there we are. That's the last of it gone. And very delicious it was, Miss Gady.
Good. I'm sure there's more if you want it.
Oh, no, Arthur. I think we should go to the drawing room.
Oh, yes, perhaps we should. If you'll excuse us.
Of
I
course.
think I shall too. Shall we all go into the drawing room? Thank you.
Will you play for us, dear?
Oh, do.
No, I don't think I will, Arthur. I mean, after all, I was playing all the morning.
Yes, but I'm sure everyone would like to hear you. What about you? Would you care to hear Mrs. Boutwood play?
I'm sure we all would, yes.
There you
Well,
are, by popular
perhaps
demand.
one little piece, then, the one I was playing.
Miss Harris.
I wonder if there's somewhere we could talk, Miss Lessways. There are one or two things I should like to talk to you about.
Well, there's the little room. You could go in there. People do say it's the most charming room in the house.
Six months ago, I didn't know this house. It was all because I went to see him one afternoon. Everything that's happened is because of that.
I'm so sorry. I had to get my bag, and I wanted to have a brief word with Sarah. I'm afraid you're still looking a little pale, Miss Lessways.
No, I'm better, thank you.
I'm very glad to hear it. I was most distressed when I heard what had happened. As you probably know, I have tried to see you several times. To inquire after your health and to see if there was anything I could do, but, well, Sarah said you weren't feeling up to it, and quite obviously I didn't want to press myself. Well, now, I have to talk business with you, so I suppose I might as well begin, eh?
Yes.
Have you decided what you're going to do?
I'm not going back to the paper.
No, I suppose not. But are you thinking of coming back to Turnhill?
How do I know?
You must have thought about it.
I haven't.
Because if you aren't, it's no use your keeping that house of yours empty. Well, you must remember it's just as you left it, and the things in it aren't taking any good either.
I don't see that it matters to anyone but me.
I don't know what you and Sarah have been plotting together. But I'm sure I don't wish to interfere in your affairs. With Sarah's, I have to interfere, unfortunately, at a famous time I'm having of it, but not yours. I only promised your uncle. Your uncle told me that you wanted to try...
Please.
Please what?
Please sit down.
It's all right. All right, I ought to have known.
No, what?
That you would be likely to be upset.
No, it's not that. It's... I'm very sorry.
I reckon I know a bit about what worry is myself. Well, let's forget about your own house in Lesway Street for the time being. I can sell the Calder Street property for you if you want me to, and at a pretty good price, too. Well, sooner or later, the town will have to buy up the whole of that side of the street anyway. You may remember last year I told your mother that I thought I had a customer for it, but she wasn't having any.
Yes, I remember.
Well, you know what the net rents are. You've had them every month. I dare say the purchase money, if it's carefully invested, will bring in as much. But even if it doesn't bring in quite as much, you must remember Calder Street is going down. It's becoming more and more of a slum, and there'll always be problems with tenants of that class.
I wish I could sell everything, everything. Lesway Street as well. Then I should be absolutely free.
You can. And take it from me, 10 years hence, those Lesway Street houses won't be worth what they are today.
Supposing that you could sell, how much would I get? I mean, income?
About £3 a week.
Well, that's quite enough for me to live on.
Oh, yes. Yes, and of course you'd still have the capital.
Yes. Yes. I'd rather have it like that, I know I would, than I could cut myself off from everything there and... Yes, I prefer it like that, I would.
Right, well, just let me check. Yes. Yes, there should be no problem at all to get you £3 a week. But, perhaps it would be better if you waited a little while, eh? Thought about it a bit longer.
No, I've quite decided, I have.
Very well. Now, I have some papers here, which you will have to sign. No ink, of course. Indelible eagle pencil. That'll do just as well.
How's the Chronicle getting on?
Oh.
I suppose you found a new secretary.
No. No, I told them they'd have to manage with that one. It's no fun starting a new paper in a godforsaken hole like the Five Towns, I can tell you that. No fun at all. Well, yeah. I think you can manage on here. Unless you'd rather go downstairs.
No?
More private here.
Thank you.
Now, there are two documents, as you see. An informal sale note and an authority. The sale note is your confirmation that you wish to sell, and the authority is the document which gives me permission to act on your behalf.
Yes.
You do understand that, do you?
Yes.
Very well. There you are. I've marked with a cross where you should sign.
He'll make a profit from this. If he's in trouble, it'll help him.
Yeah, that's Carkeek's signature, of course. As you know, the practice is in his name.
Oh, yes.
You're in my hands now. No mistake.
in, Mr. Markham. That'll be all then. I nearly touched his arm. I must be going mad. Janet!
Oh, Hilda. How are you, you poor dear? Why didn't you answer my letter?
Your letter? Oh, sorry, I forgot.
Oh, it's not important, really. I found you anyway.
How long have you been here?
Just a few minutes, that's all. Miss Gailey said you were engaged on a business matter.
Oh, she should have said. Sitting here on your own.
I wasn't on my own. I was talking to Miss Gailey. She just had to go down to the kitchen for a moment. Look, I'm up in London with Father for the weekend. We want you to come with us to the Abbey tomorrow. And you must come back with us to Bursley on Monday. You must.
To Bursley?
To our house.
Oh! Janet!
You must. We're quite set on it. I've left Father all alone this afternoon to come up here and find you out. Not that he minds. Oh, but what a way it is. I'd no idea that London stretched this far. Anyway, tell me, how are you, Hilda? You will come?
Oh, yes. Yes, I will. Please.
I shall miss you, you know. Because it hasn't been a happy time for you here.
Please don't, Miss Gailey.
Don't see how it can have been, and I know that it's all been my fault. It's all because of me. It's all because I came to London. I know that. Anyway, what I wanted to say to you was, I know it hasn't been happy for you, but it really has made such a difference to me. Now I shall have to... Well, that doesn't matter. But it's been very kind of you to stay here. It really has.
It's been very kind of you to look after me.
No. It hasn't at all. It's been... Anyway.
Excuse me, Mum.
Yes, Hetty?
The cab's here, Mum.
Oh. It is a little early.
Yes.
Still. Best not keep it waiting, I suppose.
Well,
Tell him Miss Lessways is just coming, Hetty.
yes, I'll just get my hat.
Yes. Did he say anything to you about the Butwoods? George, did he say anything?
No?
I think he's told them they can stay. I don't think it's fair of him. I really don't. I have to be able to give orders in my own house, don't I? I know it isn't really my house, but he told me it isn't. I won't have people in it I don't like. I won't, but what can I do? He's told them they can stay.
I don't know.
Well, I'm sure I don't.
Shall I tell him to load the trunk, Mum?
Yes, please.
Well, I'm sorry to be going, but I'm glad. I've got to sort out my own life as well.
Janet, look at this. Look what I found.
Picnic's ready.
Look. What is it? Oh, the picture is called Feeding the Swans. Isn't it something? Yes. And look at the title of the book. It's called The Girls' Weekday Book by Mrs. Copley.
Published by the Religious Tract Society.
And look at this under the title. That our daughters may be as cornerstones, polished after the similitude of a palace. Psalm CXL1V12.
I've never seen anything like it.
No.
Where did you find it?
Oh. It was with a lot of other things at the bottom of Mother's wardrobe. She must have had it since she was a girl. Thank you. And look at this at the table of contents. One thing at a time. Respect for ministers. Trifling with words of scripture. Goose and swan. Delicate health. Conscientious regard for truth. Sensibility and gentleness contrasted with affectation. Curiosity and tattling. Instability of worldly possessions. Oh, it's a silly book. It's a horrible book. Represents everything I detest. Thank goodness it's from a time that's finished and gone.
Oh, it isn't, you know. Those times are still here.
Yes, but
You can hear that sort of preaching any day in these towns.
I don't want to hear it. I'm sure of that.
Let me have a look.
What is it?
Nothing.
Oh, come on.
I would rather sit quietly around this fire and talk with dear Mamma than go to the grandest ball that ever was known.
What a dreadful lie. It is.
Dreadful lie.
Oh, dear. Oh, give it to me.
No,
Oh,
let
come
me have
on. I
it.
found it.
Oh, very well then. You can't find anything.
Oh, yes, I can. Just at random then. Here you are. One word more. Do not rest in your religious impressions. You have perhaps been the subject of terror on account of sin. Your mind... Your mind has been solemnized by some event in Providence, by an alarming fit of sickness or the death of a relative or a companion. This is indeed to be reckoned a great mercy. But then the danger is lest you should rest here, lest those tears and terrors and resolutions should be only the evidence on which you venture to conclude on the safety of your immortal state. What is your present condition? Well, I said it was a silly book, and it is. What is your present condition? Come on. Let's work as we eat and pack everything up and get back to Bursley quick.
What you looking so miserable for?
I'm not miserable, Father.
You look as if you are. Age does it, I suppose. I bought furniture for Trafalgar Road. Picked it up this afternoon. Good as new. It's better. It's old. Comes from a good house, because I had to sell.
Sounds very nice, Father.
You'll say. I want you to go to Hanbridge tomorrow about Bostock's order.
Yes, Father.
What with all the expenses I've had just now, I can't afford to lose an order like that. Happen folks is right what they say about Bostock's. Happen they're fools to advertise as strong as it does. But if there's got to be a printer as takes the fool's money, I'd a damn sight prefer as it was me. So, watch out how you go. Titivate yourself.
Yes, Father.
I heard as how you got a suit from Shillitoes. You'll not have had much change from the £5 your auntie gave you when you paid his fancy prices, I'll bet. What, going?
some papers downstairs I want to clear up.
Ah.
I shouldn't be surprised to see some rain.
Get your signal here. Last station. Signal.
What's that over there?
Oh, that's the Dragon Hotel. Surely you've heard about that.
No, I don't think I have.
The landlady's a woman called Louisa Loggerheads. They have all sorts of strange entertainments there.
What sort of entertainment?
Oh, it's no use asking me. I've never been.
I think I'd like to go.
I don't think it's really for ladies, you know.
Isn't it surprising how near it is? What? Turnhill to Bursley.
Oh, don't say it like that. It is only Bursley.
Oh, don't be silly, Janet. Compared with Hornsey and Turnhill, it's a metropolis.
It's beginning to rain, I think.
Who's that?
Where? There. That's young Clayhanger. Edwin Clayhanger. His father's a printer, you know.
Oh, yes.
He came from Turnhill originally.
I didn't know that.
Well, it must have been a long time ago. He's got one of the best businesses in Bursley now. Father says it's one of the best in the Five Towns. He's built that new house just close to ours. Didn't you remember I told you? Father's the architect. You can see the house from your bedroom window if you look out. They're going to move in next week or the week after. I expect that's why the son and heir's working so late tonight, packing up and so on. I shouldn't be surprised. Look here, miss, what about this rain? I vote we take the car up the hill. Hey, look, there's one coming. Thank you so much. Of course, old Mr. Clayhanger's a regular character. Grandmother once told me he sprang from simply nothing at all, worked in a pot factory when he was quite a child. Now goodness knows how much he isn't worth. Father's always saying he could buy us up, lock, stock and barrel. People often call him a miser, and perhaps in some ways he is. He can't be so much of a miser seeing that he's built this new house.
And I suppose the son's in the business too.
Yes, he wanted to be an architect. That was how Father got to know him. But old Mr. Clayhanger wouldn't have it. So he's a printer, and one day he'll be one of the principal men in this town.
Oh, so you know him?
Well, we do and we don't. I go into the shop sometimes, and then I've seen him once or twice up at the house. We've asked him to come in and see us, but he's never come. I don't think he ever will. I believe his father does keep him grinding rather hard. I'm sure he's frightfully clever.
How can you tell?
Oh, from lots of things he says. And he's read everything, it seems. And once he saved a great heavy printing machine from going through the floor of the printing shop into the basement. If it hadn't been for him, there'd have been a dreadful accident. Everybody was talking about that. He doesn't look it, does he?
No, he doesn't. And so, he lives all alone with his father. No mother.
No, his mother's dead, but there are two sisters. The youngest is married and is going to have a baby, poor thing. The other one keeps house. I believe she's a splendid girl, but neither of them is a bit like Edwin. Not a bit. He's...
What?
Oh, I don't know. Look, best keep an eye open and we'll miss where we are. It's no distance at all, and they stop anywhere you want them to, you know.
There really was something about his face. I don't know why, but I like him. What a future it would be to be Mrs. Clayhanger. Now, that really is silly. I've never spoken to him. Still...
Hello, Mater. Bless my slippers. Surprise?
Really?
I should hope so.
Why aren't you in London?
Because I'm here. How are you, Pater? Don't bother with me, son. You've got your hands full already.
There's nothing wrong, is there?
Why should there be?
What should you be?
No, calm down, all of you. There's nothing the matter. I'm here because I wanted to be, that's all.
Have you had anything to eat?
And I'm not hungry. I had a ton of food en route.
Oh, don't be silly. You must be. You've only just come off the train. You're always hungry when you come off the train. Now, sit down here. Janet, bring that small table over here. Sit down here, Charlie. We'll have something for you straight.
Well, I must settle to be treated like 15 again. How are you, Pater? You're looking well. Overworked. Yeah, we all are.
How's the law business, Tom?
Overworked, of course.
You're making a fortune, I bet you are. Where's Jimmy and Johnny?
Oh, out on the town. Such young bloods they are.
Father's quite a blood himself. Have you seen his birthday slip?
Oh.
He's so proud of them. Ooh, father, I say, aren't they handsome, John?
Magnificent. Never seen the like of them before.
Now, Charlie, tell me all about it. What's been happening at the hospital and why aren't you there? Well, you did know that Hilda was staying with us, didn't you?
Of course I did. Don't I get 10 columns of news every 10 days? I know more about this town than you do, I bet. How are you, Hilda? Haven't seen you since Miss Gailey's dancing school.
No.
How splendid it is to meet you again. So you're staying, are you?
Yes.
Good.
No, you don't deceive us, Charlie. You said you knew she was here. That's why you came.
Oh, put it here on the small table, please, Hannah.
Hannah, that looks magnifique. I have a sudden hunger flooding over me.
Now, you little miss, it's time you were in bed. No wonder you look pale, staying up till this time.
Oh, come on, Mater. Let her stay. I don't come home every day of the year. Thank you, Hannah. You are an angel.
How did you manage it today? That's what I'd like to know.
Well, I'll tell you how, shall I? I had 3 days leave from the hospital, you see, and I was feeling very bored with life, so, upon an impulse, I cabbed to Euston, trained it to Knype, decided against waiting for the loop train to get here, so I jumped in a cab for that journey as well.
Oh, isn't he rich then? Now, Alicia, Charlie or no Charlie, it's time for bed. Mother, it's way past your time.
Look. The kid can stay up if she'll say her piece.
What piece?
Abu Ben Adam. You think I don't know about that as well?
Oh, Mother, you are a bore. Why did you tell him
Come on. That or bed. Come on.
Well, I'll say it if Hilda will recite something first.
Good idea. Hilda first.
Me? I never recite.
You used to recite very beautifully. You know you do, Hilda.
Of course you do.
But you can't remember that. It's years and years.
Now, Hilda.
I can't remember anything.
Stuff. If I recall all right, you used to do the old Abu Ben yourself.
Now, I put my foot down about hearing that twice in one evening. Some Tennyson. Now, you must remember some Tennyson. Look, we must have some.
Yes, Thomas, you have every book in the world. Let's have the Tennyson down here, then.
I can't remember more.
I'll prompt you.
Oh, dear.
It just so happens I'm reading In Memoriam myself. I read 10 stanzas a day. Hurry up, Thomas, before Hilda changes her mind.
Here it is, Charlie.
Maud, she wants. Maud. Where do you mean to begin?
Will that do?
Couldn't be better. Off you go, then.
But I must stand up. I can't recite sitting down. All night have the roses heard the flute, violin, bassoon. All night has the casement jessamine stirred to the dancers dancing in tune, till a silence fell with the waking bird and a hush with the setting moon. I said to the lily, there is but one with whom she has heart to be gay. When will the dancers leave her alone? She is weary of dance and play. Now, half to the setting moon are gone, and half to the rising day. Low on the sand, and loud on the stone, the last wheel echoes away. I said to the rose, the brief night goes in babble and revel and wine. Oh, young Lord Lover, what sighs are those for one that will never be thine? But mine, so I swear to the rose, forever and ever mine. And the soul of the rose went into my blood as the music clashed in the hall, and long by the garden lake I stood, for I heard your rivulet fall from the lake to the meadow and onto the wood, our wood, that is dearer than all. can't do any more.
Bravo. You ought to go on the stage. That's what you ought to do.
Yeah, I'm quite sure that Hilda would never dream of any such thing.
Nevertheless, I agree with Charlie. It deserved a vast audience. It really did. Where's Johnny and Jimmy? They ought to be here, and all the other people are always dropping in. And Edwin Clayhanger, I thought you were supposed to be getting him round.
I told you I asked him, but he didn't come.
What's that? Is that young Clayhanger you're talking about?
Janet had a bet with us that she could get him to come for supper, but she couldn't.
What rot. I bet you what you like. I could get him here tomorrow night. I went to school with him.
I bet you can't.
Bet you a shilling I do.
I haven't a penny left. Father, will you lend me a shilling?
Oh, that's what I'm here for. If you win, we share the profit.
Oh.
That or nothing.
Oh, all right.
Done then?
Done.
Young Clayhanger will be here tomorrow night. Right, baby, you haven't escaped. It's your turn. Come on.
Arben Ben Adam, may his tribe increase, awoke one night from a deep dream of peace.
Can't tell you what it means to me to be here.
Well, they're all quite in love with you, I swear.
Who?
What are you looking at? Nothing. There's nothing to be seen. It's pitch black out there.
The Clayhanger's new house is over there. Well, I told you that, didn't I?
Oh, so you did.
It was a wonderful evening tonight.
There'll be lots and lots of those.
Well, there's one tomorrow for a start.
Yes, mind you, if Edwin Clayhanger comes, I shall lose a shilling, and I can't afford that.
It was your father's shilling.
Oh, so it was. And anyway, well, we'll see what happens. Good night, Hilda.
Night, Janet. Janet,
Yes?
will you promise me something?
Of course.
If Edwin Clayhanger comes tomorrow night, will you promise not to talk about me at all, and promise not to ask me to recite?
Why not?
I'd rather, that's all.
All right. You are strange sometimes, Hilda. Night.
How do, Teddy? I've just been to try and see you in there.
Hello, the Sunday.
Didn't know I was in town, eh?
No.
Well, I am, you see.
Yes.
Come in, will you? All right. No, after you.
No, go on. All right, Stiff. Come in here.
Lion's Den, eh?
Sit down, will you? No, you take the chair. I'll absquatulate on the stool.
By Jove, it's lucky I had this suit on.
No, I had no idea you were down. When did you come?
Last train last night. Just a freak, you know.
You're not altered much.
You have, anyhow.
Oh.
I suppose you got this place practically in your own hands now.
Um,
I wish I was on my own, I can tell you that.
Don't you make any mistake. You're at that hospital, aren't you?
Bart's.
Bart, is it? Yes, I remember. Expect you aren't thinking of settling down here.
There's too much competition here. So there is everywhere else, for the matter of that.
You needn't worry about competition.
Why not?
Why not, man? Nothing could ever stop you getting patients. With that smile, you simply walk straight into anything you want.
You think so?
Well, you didn't suppose degrees and things had anything to do with it, did you? All the patient wants is to be smiled at in the right way. Take the doctors here. Do you know why the dad's gone to Dr. Heave?
Gone to Heave, has he? Left old Uzi?
Yes. I'm not saying he isn't clever, but it's his Luke that does the trick for him.
You seem to go about noticing things. Any charge?
Phew.
Look, I can't stop now.
Hold on a bit.
No, I simply called to tell you you've got to come up tonight.
Come up where?
Our place. You simply got to.
Oh, I can't come, not tonight.
Why not?
Oh, we're so busy.
Bosh to that.
Some other night.
I have to leave tomorrow, must. Now, look here, old man, come on. I shall be very disappointed if you don't. That's all right. There's a fine girl staying up there just now.
Up at your place?
Fine girl, yes. Haven't you seen her about?
No.
You want to keep your eyes open, old man.
Who is she?
Friend of Janet's. Hilda Lessways, her name is. I knew her vaguely when she was a youngster, but naturally she's changed since then.
Bit of all right, is she?
What's she like? Come up and see.
Not tonight.
You'll come tonight or I perish in the attempt.
All right, I'll come.
You sure?
Yes.
Come for a spot of supper at 8.
Oh, supper. I didn't suppose I'll come after supper for a bit.
Suppose you don't. I'm off now, but no. You stop in your den. You bet I can find my own way out. So long.
So long. The Sunday, eh? I wonder if he came down specially to see that Hilda. Janet's a jolly fine girl and all. Damned lucky thing I bought this suit. By the way, Charlie Orgreave called this afternoon.
Did he?
He's off back to London tomorrow. He would have me slip up tonight and see him.
And shall you?
Oh, I think so. Might as well.
Wondered as why he was still wearing his suit.
Charles in.
Where's my Bob?
Why? What have I said?
Surely I can say Bob.
Well, Miss Orgreave, here I am, you see.
And we're delighted.
Here, give us that tile.
Beautiful evening.
Isn't it? We were out on the lawn, but Mother said it was damp. It wasn't. But if you think it's damp, it is damp, isn't it? Will you come and see Mother? Charlie, you can leave that front door open.
Good evening, Mrs. Orgreave.
Well, Edwin.
Here's Jimmy and Johnny.
How do, Clayhanger? Jolly pleased to see you.
Evening, Clayhanger.
Evening.
Would be more effusive, but I have to keep it down while the tot's on the go.
Edwin, come and sit over here.
What an ugly girl.
It's no use, we're all wrong.
Alicia, you mustn't be nervous.
Nervous? Tom's just as nervous as I am, so he can't talk.
There, look there.
She's always nervous like that when anyone's here, but she doesn't like to be told.
She plays splendidly. Do you play?
She does.
Come on, darling, you're nearly at the end.
You weren't within 10 bars of each other.
Oh, well, I suppose we may all talk a bit now. It's more than our place is worth to breathe aloud when those Rubinsteins are doing Beethoven.
Oh, my word.
Beethoven, is it?
One symphony a night. We're only on the second, it seems. 7 more to come. Well, what do you think of that, Edwin?
Very fine.
Let's have the lost chord, Jack.
Oh, no, Peter.
Oh, well, I'm squashed again, as usual.
How do you do, Clayhanger? You must excuse us. We're not used to audiences. That's the worst of being rotten amateurs.
Oh,
Baby.
Edwin, this is Miss Lessways. Hilda, Mr. Edwin Clayhanger.
How'd you do?
Hello. Let's go and see, shall we?
Yes?
Excuse us, won't you?
Oh, well, I'm as hungry as a wolf. Not that anyone cares, though.
See my latest, Charlie?
No? What is it?
Come over here.
What is it, Tom? I haven't seen this.
See this, my boys? 6 volumes. Picked them up at Stafford. Your sizes, you know. It's the Wilbraham crest. I never knew they'd been selling their library.
Notre Dame de Paris.
Yes.
What, they stick you for that lot? Quid?
Cheap as dirt, of course. Binding's worth more than that. Look at the other volumes. Look at them.
Pity it's only a second edition.
Well, we can't have everything, man.
Tell them I'm going to do an hour's planning. They're not likely to be more than an hour, I suppose.
Only in translation. You ought to read French in French. Can't.
Bosh, you always spiffing in French, knock spots off me.
I'm sure you could read French easily. There's simply nothing to
I
it.
must give it a shot. I never thought of it. Are there any books in this style to be got at that bookstall in Ambridge Market?
Sometimes, oh yes.
Say what you like, and Victor Hugo is Victor Hugo, but there's a lot of this'll bear skipping, your worship.
Not a line.
Oh, indeed. Don't you find some of this dull, Teddy?
Well, yes.
Mrs. Orgreave wants to know when you're coming into supper. Why did I say that? I've never read any. Anyway, I'm sure it's true.
Coming in, Johnny.
Why not? Come on, Teddy.
Right. What an extraordinary girl. She is ugly, though.
Ah, here it is.
Really,
Good
Charlie,
show.
wine.
Look here, I come down specially to see them, and not only don't they offer to pay my fares, they grudge me a drop of claret as well. There we are. Hilda, this is better than coffee, as St. Paul remarked on a famous occasion. Pass your glass.
Charlie, I'll thank you to leave St. Paul out of this.
Charlie, your mother will be boxing your ears if you don't mind.
Oh, not have it.
But you'll have some wine.
No, thank you, I won't.
Edwin, some wine, or did you take the oath when you were a lad? Good heavens, I do believe he did.
And a very good thing, too, and don't you tempt him.
No, I'll have some, please.
Good.
Tell me, Edwin, what does your father say about Bradlaugh? My family tell me that no member of Parliament should be forced to swear on the Bible if he doesn't want to. Now, what does your father say?
He doesn't say much.
Let me see now. Does he call himself a liberal?
He calls himself a liberal, yes, he calls himself a liberal, but I'm afraid he's a regular old Tory.
Father is a regular old Tory, too.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, yes, father's a regular old Tory. Oh, don't apologize, Edwin, don't apologize. I'm used to these attacks. There was a time once when they nearly turned me out of my own house. Somebody's got to keep the flag flying. Edwin, are you a Bradlaugh man?
All I can say is you can't help what you believe. You can't make yourself believe anything. And I don't see why you should either. There's no virtue in believing.
Hooray.
No virtue in believing. Oh, Mr. Edwin, Mr. Edwin.
You mustn't take Mother too seriously. She only puts on that expression to keep worse things from being said. She's past being upset. She's been through too much, haven't you, poor dear?
Oh, Edwin, so you're against me too. Oh, well, this is no place for me.
Where are you going, Father?
To work like a Tory, to pay for all this.
Oh,
All right, just for a few minutes more.
Yes.
Good night, Teddy. Good night. Good night, Clayhanger.
Hello, what's the matter?
Oh, nothing. Only I'm just going to walk round the garden for a bit. Shan't get to sleep unless I do.
As long as you keep off the grass, it's bound to be damp. I'll unfasten the door for you,
I
shall
can
I?
manage. Shan't be long.
That's all right, Hilda. I'm not going to bed just yet.